What is going on, everybody? Welcome back to the Civilization 5 Oceania AI only game. We continue and see what happens. Banuba, of course, last episode was dealing with a bit of a coalition. I think overall they've handled it. You know, they're not in danger, but it's probably annoying and it might change what happens going forward. Oh, that's not good. Poor Anangu. They might be okay for now. Down here, I mean, it doesn't really matter at the end of the day if they go or not, but the other Anangu has attacked them. Not really what you want. And Australia as well. But Australia's mainly just got workers. Which these guys, I would say, could steal, but they also only have a worker. So they're probably safe on that one. The Kulin, did you give that away? Somebody gave this away. I think Australia gave this away. That was an Australian city, so they must have pieced out with Banuba and given that away at some point. Look at that, the Kulin putting in all this effort to walk over here, and yet the Banubans have still got cities nearer to them. There's a lot of oil here. 4, 5, 10, 15, 20. Well worth. This city's going to be very worth it. There's a 5th one up here as well, so a lot of oil to be had in this desert area. Up north, what have we got? A lot more plains starting to emerge for Laos. Oh yeah, definitely a lot more. I didn't see all these ones as well. Not so many for Vietnam. Singapore's turning into a bit of a fortress of units as well. Aceh, it's got a lot of units too. There we go, everyone's building up their defences. Brunei, not so much. They're very, very empty in terms of units. Space is filling. Few 4 or 5 tiles left to go between Laos, Vietnam and Brunei here, and then Brunei just took a big chunk out of it as well. So there we go, we'll see that fill up soon, and that will be all of the land on this island filling up. It filled up very slowly and then very quickly, as Banuba also adds a city on this island of Broken Neck Giraffe Island. What else we got? Damage bubbles popping up everywhere, but no cities really under significant pressure. I think that will change. This one is probably in a bit of trouble. Oh, Maori maybe going to grab another city in southern New Zealand, which, you know, they're not down there. Their borders aren't particularly close. That's a good move. There's a lot of resources here too. Salt, fish, coal, silk, more silk. Salt, yeah, more salt. Some deer. There's furs on the western side there as well, so can definitely be a useful addition to their existing territory. Anyone out here yet? Anyone going for a crazy island settlement? Not quite. This is a bit too far away. Whoop, whoop. Where are we going? It's flying me around. Still these islands empty. I felt they would have been settled, but maybe not. Igorot moving around, some infantry units, but again not too much being done. Not even working their uranium yet. Maybe they've not got the technology. That would make sense. It would be pretty early, I'd say, if someone did have access to uranium, but you never know. Anything can be possible. Banuba's turn. Passes by. New South Wales. I feel like they're the favourite at the moment. Maybe I'm getting that wrong, but they seem pretty good in the demographics, so it's hard to tell. Are they still dominating? Yeah, I mean, it was only a few minutes ago. Banuba's re-overtaken them on crop yield, so there you go, there's at least something. Got some more food for the Banubans. But yeah, population still with Brunei, production with New South Wales. They have the most money as well, the most land, and the most soldiers, so they won't be too disappointed with that, I don't think. It is going a bit slow, I've noticed. I thought it would be okay, but I guess the map is kind of big. I mean, it's a huge Australia, but it's certainly not like as big, surely. I don't know, I'm not counting the tiles, but it can't be as big as that world map, can it? I don't know, it is going quite slow though. I have noticed it's finally slowed down just a little bit. we're not getting much either in terms. I know we've got the big war, but it's not exactly. It's not quite as exciting as it seems, is it, Banuba? I mean, this city's under a bit of a siege. The Muri are trying, but they're mostly fine. New South Wales is probably going to take this city, but that's about it. There's not much else going their way at the moment, which could, I don't know, it's not an issue, but it just doesn't suggest that much is going to happen in the future either, right? It suggests they're going to be equal most of the time. It's a bit worrying, maybe. Vietnam v Burma. That is interesting, but I don't want to overhype it, because it really is Laos that needs to go after Burma, but I guess they have open borders. I don't know, yeah, Laos, although we've seen Laos use Vietnam. They used Vietnam and Burma when they attacked the Shan. They sort of waited for those two to do a bit of damage first before they went in and cleaned up all the cities for themselves. So maybe there is a possibility that happens here as well. You know, let Burma, let one of them do the work. Of course, they'll both get weaker, which strategically is a big advantage for Laos, that Vietnam and Burma are weakening each other. But I think Vietnam had to do something, so interesting to say the least. We'll see if they're... Yeah, I don't think there's going to be success here, I'm going to be honest. I think that city's pretty well defended. It's awkward to get to. It is coastal, but Vietnam will only be able to sort of get in one boat at a time. It's going to be very challenging to take that city, I think. There has been a city captured by New South Wales. That is the one in the middle of the desert. So again, it's not a huge loss. Is that cotton fields there? Yep, getting traded over, and some oil eventually, but nothing particularly big. New South Wales, being the biggest, have the highest sort of chance anyway of having a type of resource, so it's not necessarily huge to take a new city as it might be for others who do not have as much territory. Maori did put down their settler. The south coast of New Zealand, nearly forgot what it was called. I think New South Wales is here to attack them, if I remember correctly, but of course there's no cities on this side of the coast, so they should be okay for now. And I don't think those boats will be able to do enough to take over cities. I might be wrong, but obviously New Zealand has the Maori have their own boats as well, which if they go round, sort of give them a helping hand, should be enough to put off any chances. Igorot's turn, Australia's turn. Wait, who is that? It is Australia. For some reason, this green and these two cities, the gold on the mini-map for these two, but look at these two. I guess it's because of the background, maybe, but this one is a lot brighter than this one. Even though look, the same side of the forest here, but a huge difference in brightness. And on the mini-map, it's the same. That city is much brighter than this part of Australia. So I thought someone else had settled here, but I was like, who else is green and gold? No one. So that confused me. Confused me a fair bit. And Nangu, they held off. Yeah, they did their bit. They took down the Banuba units that were nearby, and they're now doing their bit as well, fighting some of the Banuban ships. So everyone's just doing their bit to keep Banuba in check. Meanwhile, New South Wales just marches across. Is that the lesser of two evils in this world, do we reckon? They've chosen New South Wales instead for some reason, whatever reason that might be, over Banuba? Maybe. The Kulin captured. Oh, they captured this. No, wait. Yep, no, it wasn't that city. What one? Oh, they took this one. Okay, well, that's interesting. We'll see how long that lasts. But there we go. The Kulin making a bit more progress than the Muri did down the road at the capital, with worse units. Muri did have cannons. The Kulin have used trebuchets. Got the job done. And there we go. The Wagi complete Broadway as they also enter the atomic era. This feels like a very... I thought this island was maybe they're enemies, but at the same time, maybe they're just very, very chill, working together, both happy. I'm sure that'll be shattered at some point. And there we go, Banuba. Didn't last long for the Kulin. Immediately retake their city. Yeah, I feel like Banuba, they're being stretched, but whenever they need to focus on like a small area, they have it covered. They know what they're doing. They know how to defend, where to put their troops. They seem to have it covered when there's any dangers. Vietnam, yeah, no real progress. I think Laos will have to get involved if there is going to be any progress here. Burma goes first. Did they? No, they didn't really do anything. They damaged the boat, but Vietnam's not going to do too much either. As we said, 89 city defense is pretty hard to crack as well when it's not going too well. Brunei's turn. The Wagi, will we get anything big? No. Doesn't look like it. Okay, we continue on. With not much, there's not a lot going on. I hate these episodes. It's just very awkward. Just rambling on. Not really knowing what to do. There's lots going on, that's weird, but with what is going on, nothing's really happening, right? Banuba's not going to die. I can guarantee you that right now. I mean, maybe this will test them, but knowing our luck, they'll arrive and then they'll peace out because they've just had to walk, you know, so far. That will probably happen. That would not surprise me in the slightest if that occurred. This city is under attack from Australia. I mean, again, not really game changing if the Anangu fall, but it could happen. Possible. This is... No, you're not at war with them. I was going to say that's a brave settler, just walking past the enemy. But I guess that is... that's not really a problem. More and more civs getting planes. Seeing aircraft carriers as well for New South Wales, who do not have planes, so it's a bit funny that they have. Well, they do, but they're not here. Building so many aircraft carriers. I think it's because you don't need resources to build them, so the AI builds a lot of them. They're fairly tactical, I guess, if you use them correctly. Don't think they ever end up getting used correctly, but there you go. Very rarely. A bit of pressure being put on this Anangu, but I'm sure they can overcome this. Crossbowman v Ironclad, that is... Yeah, in reality, maybe they shouldn't be able to, but I think the crossbowman will chip in, do a bit of damage, give them a helping hand. Vietnam. Don't think it's going well for them still. Oh no, it is going well. There we go. They have turned it around a bit. That's something. At the very least. I mean, if they could get this, that would be interesting. It's going to make the borders very gross, and it's not going to be great for Laos, but there we go. It can't all be based on what we want for them. Coolant? Nope, that doesn't matter. Well, maybe if they rush over. Probably not. They've also failed to retake this, and yet Banuba has now sent some units and pretty comfortably kicked the Kulin out. They're also, yeah, putting a bit of naval pressure on Muri. They're just in control. They know what they're doing. They've got it covered. Oh, Brunei with the Cristo Redentor wonder. Are all those tiles full yet? Nearly. There's one to go. There was 5 earlier, just a few minutes ago. And now there's just 1 tile left. They grew pretty quickly. I think Brunei took the other one to the north. Vietnam's taken a few. Laos probably took 1 as well. And then this one. Who's going to get the final tile? Oh, big question. Will it be this turn? It's not that big a question, is it? That's how you can tell when there's a struggle episode. It's just getting excited about tiles. Motu, Aceh. Nope, none of those guys giving us much. The Khmer, Australian Khmer. These guys, Nagar and Jerry, I mean, they've not even... That's the first time they've come up. This episode has been a quiet one for them as well. Did the Maori defend okay? I'm sure. Yeah, they've dealt with those New South Wales boats, look, and now they've got the last 2 pretty much trapped. They'll pick those off, and that will make New South Wales maybe think twice about heading over to New Zealand again. Australia did grab a city. Oh, they just killed off Anangu. That's what it was. The other Anangu. This one finally gone. So there you go, Australia. Grabbing a little bit more land. More land for their workers to go and improve, who are just strolling around the map. Brunei adds the Sydney Opera House. That would have been cool if it was built in Sydney. We don't get that this time around, sadly. But we do get, I think, the first Manhattan project out of Brunei, which is maybe going to be a bit threatening to some of their neighbours in the Indian and Pacific Ocean sides. What do you call this? I guess this is some sort of sea, right? I don't know what it's called, but I guess it's a sea in between the oceans. Laos did squeeze in another settler here, south of the Kulin, and they're probably going to get another one on this island. So that's really filling in. Brunei's like, yeah, they're trying everything. I don't think that's how it works, but put a unit in there. Maybe we'll get the borders. It's our land now. I like that from them. Oh, so close here to Burma falling. So I was wrong about that one. There you go. At least on that front I was wrong. I think the other 2 cities of Burma are pretty safe, but Vietnam should end this episode with a big city here. Big one to fall. 22 population as we get who's adopting an ideology now? The Muri. Okay, fair enough. I mean, yeah, they probably only just got 3 factories. They only have 2 big cities, so that kind of, or good cities. So that makes a bit of sense. They do have some oil. It seems like a lot of civs have oil, so there won't be much trading necessarily, but there could be. There's some peace deals for the Maori with New South Wales and Ngarrindjeri, which means that's over. Maori have put another settler down in the south as well. So they've just added some more territory to what they already had, sped the process up. But yeah, I mean, they're going to need to leave at some point if they want to find some other land. There's a lot of naval battles here actually in the space in between New South Wales and the Maori. As New South Wales take their turn. Sydney not doing too much. Sorry, stream today doesn't look too promising in terms of numbers. That city did fall to Vietnam. Mandalay has fallen, and Aceh, a bit late to the party, joins the war. Is there a city near the... Oh my goodness, Laos has really spammed Aceh with cities. I didn't notice that. 3. Aceh v Banuba. I mean, this city may end up falling to Banuba, so that might have been a mistake. But anyway, that will be it for today. I'll probably skip a few turns ahead, make sure there's some stuff going on for tomorrow. But yeah, thank you so much for tuning in. As always, if you have enjoyed, be sure to leave a like and a comment down below. Be sure to subscribe as well if you are new to the channel, and I'll see you in the next one.